Cheers out there to all you ghouls and goblins. We're back for yet another episode. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, podcast where we talk about stuff and things and stuff that probably doesn't matter, but it matters to us, so that's all that matters in the end. Right. Spooky season is upon us, and we are in full-fledged spooky mode. It is the best time of the year. I don't care what you say. I will die on that hill. It doesn't matter. But we got a fun episode for you. We got some stuff to talk about. And let's bring back our one and only, our esteemed colleague, Christian.
How's it going, everyone? It feels good to be back for another week. We are almost officially in the spooky season.
At time of recording, like literally spooky season is like tomorrow. Which it's already spooky season for me. It started, I've already been in that mode, but I guess it's officially official tomorrow. So I'm ready.
I'm going to do my best this year to actually watch a horror movie every day in October. The problem is real life happens outside of this podcast, so I will be moving soon. And aside from moving, I'm going to have really wonky internet for a little bit once I actually do get moved before my legit internet shows up. And with that being said, I have another thing that I do on the side of the podcast that involves horror media, so I try not to, overextend my spooky hand during the holiday season so I don't get burnt out. So I'm going to try really hard this year. It's super fucking easy. Like, I love horror in general, but, sometimes you have people that want to watch horror with you, and that makes it a little difficult for you to, just do what you want. So I'm trying to get it set up to where I can get a movie in a day, whether that's on my phone or on my TV, computer, whatever. So we'll see what happens. What about you, man? You watching a horror movie every day?
Oh yeah, that's me and the missus tradition. We do that literally last, I don't know how many years in a row. We pretty much watch one every day of October. We actually started early and watched one today. We watched one already before recording, and we'll talk about the movie I watched here momentarily, but I actually went through and made a list. Went to the different sites and wrote down like movies that were there, so I didn't have to say, well, I wonder where such and such movie is, and have to go to the different streaming sites to look. This way I kind of have an idea and like a quick guide. And also something I've done is a lot of the different place, or somebody posted like what's on like Shudder, what's on like a 31 Days of Halloween kind of thing, but it's on different sites. Like what Netflix has, what this has, and stuff like that. So I've actually got those, and I'm going to share them on our Instagram. So everybody out there knows kind of what to expect. I was going to post them out there, and you had like a reference. But yeah, we'll be watching stuff.
Hell yeah.
And speaking of watching things, let's do our first opening segment, which we do every week, and it's how we break the ice. It's what we've been watching, listening to, reading, or playing recently. Christian, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. So it's been a light week for me. I've been super busy with real life stuff. But I did find the time to pop in a few more episodes of Smallville. I'm up to season 5 now. For those of you who have seen Smallville, this is the season where Clark knows for a fact that Lionel Luthor knows his secret. Him and Lana have gotten together and broken up again. And Lana is, kind of seeing Lex, but not really, but kind of. They're like hooking up and making out. They're not like hooking up, but they're definitely making out behind Clark's back. Chloe knows. She's trying not to tell Clark because she doesn't want to hurt his feelings. She also doesn't want him to get pissed off and go kill Lex. So that's fun to watch. The drama. Smallville is just a drama city. So that's happening right now. And aside from, watching Smallville, I started watching a show that I've never watched before that nobody told me was fucking awesome. It's on Amazon Prime. And I've been watching House. I don't know who out there has watched House or even knows what it is.
The medical doctor?
Hugh Laurie. Yeah. House MD. Yeah.
Yeah.
House MD, I've been watching that. I'm not really into like medical procedural dramas. I'm not really into that type of thing, like Grey's Anatomy and stuff. But House is a little different. House is like me. He's very quippy. He's very sarcastic. He likes to bust people's balls. It's really fun for me to watch a character like that. Obviously, none of the shit that happens in this hospital could happen in a real hospital, but I think that's like part of the charm of the show, is knowing that you cannot do shit like this no matter what the circumstances are. But I am watching House. I am enjoying it. I've been binging season 1. Like I said, first time watch through. I'm almost done with the first season. It's really good. I'm excited to see more. And man, I even have favorite characters and all that. So I've been watching that in my spare time. Well, like I said, not a lot of spare time going on here. And aside from those things, I've been hearing good things about a documentary series on Shudder right now called 101 Scariest Horror Movie Moments
It's
of all
awesome.
time. Is it awesome? I've been hearing nothing but good things.
Okay, I'm a nerd and I really enjoy like documentary stuff. So anything like that that goes and kind of like goes through like history of horror or even like the behind the monster, any kind of like documentary horror thing where you learn stuff. I love that stuff. I really do. So yeah, it catches my interest and it shows me movies that like a lot of stuff I've seen and a lot of stuff I'm like, I haven't seen that. And then it piques my interest. I'm like, all right, I'll mark that one down. It's something I need to check out.
Hell yeah, man. That's cool. So I'm gonna do my best to try to watch that.
I think there's
like I said,
3 or maybe 4 episodes now. 3 or 4, I can't remember.
Yeah, there's 4 episodes out right now, and I gotta get on them, man. I gotta get on them and start using that. But we'll see, man. Like I said, I've been hearing good things. I do want to watch it. We'll see what happens. But I've been watching that over the week. I want to say I've been watching some other stuff, but honestly, I haven't. I've been so busy this week. It's been one of the busiest work weeks of my life so far, and it's only going to get busier, especially with the move coming up. So that's what I've been watching, man. What about you?
So I have been into all kinds of stuff. Gaming wise, I've been playing Overwatch in preparation for Overwatch 2. I've been trying to knock the rust off. So that's been fun. Overwatch 2 comes out, time recording, like 4 days or something like that. 5 days, 4 days. I don't know, something like that. It's not long. Free to play, so that'll be interesting to see. But I've been playing that. Watching wise, we will start with. So I've watched 2. Well, actually, we talked about it last week. I was excited to start one of the shows, and one of the other shows I was finishing. So I finished Chucky, and I started and finished Dahmer. But I'm going to talk about those in a second. First, I want to talk about a movie I watched today. It's the first time seeing it. It's called It Follows. It's a horror movie from 2014, I believe. 2015, excuse me. 2015. No, 2014. Okay, this thing is confused. One says 2014, the other says 2015. I don't know. Whatever. Sometime in that time frame.
2014 is, I believe, when it was hitting the festival circuit and then got a wide release in 2015.
Gotcha. So I'd heard really good things about this. How it had skipped over me and I had not seen it until now, I don't know. And I actually saw a piece of it because, like I said, I'd heard about it several times and was like, okay, it's something I'll check out. And I'd seen it on like Netflix and stuff. I was like, I need to watch that. And then I would end up doing something else. The 101 Scariest Moments that you were talking about actually has a scene from It Follows. And so that piqued my interest even more. I was like, all right, I need to check this out. So I watched it today, me and the missus. And it is different. It is very different than other horror movies. One thing I will say right away, and I think I'm just a sucker for this stuff, is really good scores in particularly like horror movies. I love it. I love the old school, like suspenseful kind of score rather than like, copyright artist kind of stuff, like big name artists throwing like a song in there and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about, Christian?
Yeah.
I like a John Carpenter Halloween, like less is more, build up the moment of the scene with suspenseful music, and they did that a lot in the movie. The story it was a really cool story. It was very different. And I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. It's like
the score that you're mentioning right now is from Disaster Piece, and it's pretty fantastic. Like there's one track on that on the soundtrack. There's a track called Heels, and you hear that at the beginning of the movie when the girl is being chased by that entity in her heels, and then ends up on the beach.
That's the
and
scene
then,
that's on the 101 things.
Oh, okay. That's the one.
Literally
Okay.
the scene. Yeah,
So,
they were talking about that, and I was like, "What is this?" And it sparked my interest even more.
it's surprising to me, like honest to God, it's surprising to me that you haven't seen It Follows, because when that movie came out, that was one of my favorite horror films of the year because it felt new and fresh,
It's
and I
very
just
different.
really enjoyed it.
And what I
Yeah,
mean by it's different,
I
so just a
really
quick
enjoyed it.
rundown in case somebody wants to see it, I don't want to spoil it. Pretty much what it is, this girl has sexual intercourse with a guy. And right afterwards, the guy, like, pretty much, like, knocks her out, chloroforms or whatever, takes her, he's like, hey, look, I passed along this entity that's going to pretty much chase you. It's not fast. It's going to come at you slow, but it's not stupid. And it's going to chase you until it kills you. Don't let it touch you. You know, it will kill you. Or you pass it along by having another sexual partner, and then in that case, it will go to that person. But the catch is, say you have another sexual partner and they kill that person, then it comes back to you. Like, it goes back down the line that way. And so it's this never-ending thing, and it's pretty much a story of that. And it's like this girl that obviously, I guess you can call her cursed now or whatever, and then her friends trying to survive. But it's... And only... Okay, and the big, I guess, caveat is whoever is cursed, we're going to say cursed, is the only one that can see it. So if it was Christian would see this person walking to him, and it can take various forms. So it's not just one shape, one person. It will change. You would see it, but then I wouldn't see it. So it's an interesting horror movie. Check it out. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good. Really good score. I liked it. I dug it. And it's a great way to kick off spooky season, in my opinion, for me.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I did watch that movie with my partner, and she fucking hated it. It was hilarious, dude. Like we watched the film, and then we got to the end, and she was like, "For real? That was trash. Why did you make me watch that?"
See, I don't think
and
Mrs.
it
Sin
fucking
liked
hurt
it
my
either.
feelings. It hurt my feelings. I was like, dude, it's an allegory to like STDs. It was fantastic.
Actually, you know, it could be it. You could have called the movie STD, sexually transmitted death. Badoom.
Oh my god.
Don't hate. Look, hey, I have a knack for that. You leave it. I said that during the movie, and she just looked at me like, you're an idiot. But yeah, she didn't like it either. She was like, let's get this movie over with. And I was like, what? I thought it was...
That's really funny.
But
like I said, I enjoyed it.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good, man. I was just saying I really enjoyed it, man. I thought it was awesome, but not everybody likes it. It's not for everyone. The score, however, is
great.
Dope. I don't care who you are. The score is fantastic.
I'm a sucker for that.
Like that.
If it's like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like placing song like copyrighted song, like artist songs, which this is an artist song too, but you know what I mean, like putting like a Busta Rhymes song or something in it, you know, like that. That's okay in parts, and sometimes it fits really well. But like stuff like this where it goes and it builds the scene more to me. Oh, dude, it's so good. I love that. Like if I did movies, that's what I would want to do. I want to like carpenter it and build my music to build the scene more. If that makes sense. I really dig that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But moving along. So check that out. It's on Netflix. It follows. I watched a show that I was very excited to watch. We talked about last week, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. And can I just say, Jesus Christ, Evan Peters deserves a award. My God, that dude acted his balls off. Which you really don't have to like. Okay, Dahmer is not a very. For those who know Jeffrey Dahmer, if you've ever seen like any of the interviews, like his real life interviews, stuff like that, the dude is not charismatic. He is not a people person. Like when you watch anything with Ted Bundy, he's a very outgoing people person. Like he's very intelligent, very charismatic. You know, people want to be around him. He's charming. Dahmer is very monotone, no emotion. But God, Evan Peters, I hope he's okay after that mentally, because dude, he went to some dark places for that show. They did a fantastic job with it. Ryan Murphy and them crushed it, I thought. It was a really good show. The story was really good. It was very interesting. Super screwed up. And can I say, this is probably hateful, but the parents of Dahmer, dude, they're hot pieces of trash. In my opinion. The fact that they took like no blame, but then all the stuff it shows them, which they could have changed it, I don't really know. I don't know the backstory. I know the dad wrote a book. And I don't even want to know if I want to read it, because who knows how he spins everything. But the way they portrayed Dahmer's parentals is awful. Mom was into like pills and stuff, and she just dips on him, just leaves. The dad, when they're getting a divorce, he just goes to a hotel and shacks up with his new girl. They leave Dahmer in high school as a high school kid, unsupervised, in the house, and just like, the other one's watching him. And he's there for like months, and that's when he ends up getting his first kill. Months by himself as a kid, just drinking, doing whatever. Dad used to help him get roadkill, and they would like dissect it and look at the organs and just, which I guess that could turn into taxidermy, but this weird shit that they did to him, and they would never question, like, he would do something and then he would ask like Dahmer about it, and he would give him an answer, and it would be like kind of bland, or like, I don't know what I did, and Dad was like, oh, okay, and that would be it. It's like, what the, I don't know. As a parent, I was like, what the hell? Like, they're awful. But Evan Peters, fantastic. Story's really good. It is a creepy show. If you want to watch something creepy, I think they have the Dahmer tapes coming out in October after this show. So it'll kind of be like the Zac Efron movie with the Bundy tapes, like kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But I also was thinking, and Christian, I don't know where you are on this. Obviously, not holding them on a pedestal, but as far as like scary / which serial killers interest me in a psychological standpoint, because you watch like how they, or even you listen to stories, how they tick. Like Dahmer ate pieces of his victims. He had necrophilia. He was homosexual. Like he had a whole bunch of things going on, that was just, I don't know. He had parental issues.
I think like
there was a lot going with him. But as far as like an interest level, so I would say your top 3 like big name killers, and I could be way off here, Christian, you can correct me. I'll say Gacy, Dahmer, Bundy would be your big top 3 like notable killers, correct?
Yeah, those are definitely the most noteworthy, aside from Ed Gein, because with Ed Gein, like obviously they've adapted that character to be, the Leatherface character that we know. But the characters that the characters that you mentioned, though, they're not the characters, excuse me, the people that you mentioned are usually the ones who are most integrated in like pop culture. I'm trying to think of the
word notorious.
So they're the ones that people know.
Infamous. I was trying to think of like the proper word of what they would be, as far as like, because there's a whole bunch of serial killers. We could like literally list serial killers. But kind of where I was going is, if you were to rank them, like I guess by like interest or like fear factor, like who was the scariest, I would almost put, for me, Gacy would be 3. He would be the bottom of those 3.
All right.
Bundy, I don't think I would be what Bundy would necessarily be after. I feel like he preyed mostly on women. But Bundy, the fact that he is very outgoing, which kind of isn't necessarily always the mold, because they blend in, but most of the blending in is not by like really being seen, right? Like they're kind of like, you're there, but you're not really there kind of deal. You're not doing anything suspicious. Bundy was very outgoing. Right. He was studying law, all kinds of stuff. I would put him second. Dahmer was freaking creepy. Just the fact that the stuff he did some creepy stuff. It could be also because I just watched it, but he turned one dude into a zombie, like drilled into his skull and then poured acid in there and essentially made him like brain dead. Did all kinds of things. Like, I don't know.
It showed in this one how he kind of got discovered because his neighbor like could smell and hear him doing shit.
Yeah, she's a big part of this one. She's a huge part of it.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was wondering if they kept that in there. Like,
yeah, she's a big role because of her noticing like noises and smells and all that. Because he essentially lives in like a very low income area that's like kind of like a bad neighborhood, like a lot of crime and drugs and stuff like that in the area, where the cops are just kind of like, I don't want to deal with this shit here, kind of thing. And they also go into the cops, which, good God, dude, I will say all the serial killers, when you hear the story, there's a lot of drop balls that could have potentially stopped them early. Like a lot of missed scenarios where it's like, really?
For sure.
Just let them off the hook there?
There's definitely a lot of stuff back in the day that changed. There's a lot of stuff back in the day that happened that shouldn't have happened, or things that didn't happen that should have happened that would have changed the course of history in those aspects.
Yeah.
But forensics and just police general investigative work has evolved so much now that it's
Yeah,
a
because they
little
sucked back
different.
then. Sorry. I'm sorry, law
Yeah,
enforcement. I know probably doing the best you could then, but damn.
I mean, but were they though? Like
Yeah.
general law enforcement officers were doing the bare minimum back then and kind of abusing that power, which still happens to this day, like hardcore. But just general ability to deduce and use deductive reasoning back then seemed to just be kind of absent. But with that said, man, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
will spend some time to kind of binge all of the episodes
I
myself
can't.
here in the near future.
When you watch it, I would love to talk about it more with you, for sure. Like, I don't want to go into like the
Absolutely,
episodes,
absolutely.
like break it down like you do with episodes and ruin it for you. It is a good watch, though. I do enjoy it. I don't know. That stuff fascinates me for some reason. It interests me. It's super fucked up. Lack of better terms, what they do, and it's awful. But moving on to the last thing I watched. Like I said, we've been busy. Chucky. I don't have a lot I'm going to say about Chucky. I'll say this: if you're a fan of Child's Play,
The series, correct?
yes, the series.
About the series?
Yes,
Okay.
the
Okay.
series. Season 1. Season 2 comes out in like a week or something from time of recording this. If you're a fan of Child's Play, if you're a fan of Chucky and you enjoy it, you will 100% love this show. I'm going to say that. They bring back pretty much anybody significant. The voice of Chucky's back. Jennifer Tilly's back. Andy's back. I mean, just they bring back a
Kyle.
good amount of people, as well as keeping what they have done previously throughout the other movies, like through Cult, through.
Don't forget Kyle. She comes back too.
Yeah, I don't even remember who the hell Kyle is. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not
Kyle-
a huge Child's
Kyle-
Play Chucky fan.
Oh man, Child's Play. I love the Child's Play series, mostly because it's one of the only continuous horror series we get, aside from like Scream. But like all of the things tie into each other. But anyway, Kyle is Andy's adopted sister from Child's Play 2, which is my favorite Child's Play film.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she's
Nika's
in that
also
one
in
and she
there,
comes back.
which is from Cult. No.
Yeah, Nika was in Curse and Cult,
Okay.
and she's like
from
the new
the mental institute.
Yeah, so before the mental institution, she was Nika Pierce. She's the daughter of one of Chucky's, first victims before the series starts. Essentially, like it ties all into that. But yeah, Nika is like the new trilogy Epstein character. So like
Gotcha.
we were following Andy, and then we were kind of following just Chucky himself and Tiffany. Now we're following Nika. Nika is like the new main protagonist, and then now we're getting Jake, like the new main character, and his friends. I really enjoyed the Chucky series. I thought it was fantastic. I can't wait. I believe the new season of Chucky season 2 starts next week at the time of this recording. It's like the 5th, so I think that's Thursday or Friday, one of them. But yeah, that's definitely coming out. No, I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. That's awesome. I forgot. So it's even sooner than I thought. So the next, I'm sure the next episode that we record of the podcast will be talking about episode 1 of Chucky season 2.
But
so that'll be great.
I appreciate it. It was fun to watch. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's really cool that they brought these people back and they kept the voice of Chucky and all that. I think it's cool that they didn't pretty much just start over. It's just a continuation. They just built on what they had and wrote their story and kept it going. Huge fan of them bringing people back and that vibe. So that's cool. Kills are pretty cool. Yeah.
You get a
I will
killing
say this,
episode,
though,
I
and you're going to
believe.
disagree. The kids were dumb. Just going to say. I mean, what was it? Who's the main character is Jake?
Yeah.
He has a really dumb face. Like, he looks like he's really confused and really, like, he doesn't understand what's going on. Like, his just normal facial features just sitting there, he looks really dumb. Like, that's it. And then the girl, what's her name? Lexi. how she
Oh
moves
my
her mouth.
God.
I'm awful. I was rooting. I was like, Chucky, please do me a favor, please.
Everybody. So here's the thing.
And
When the
also,
season came out
what's the
last
other
year,
guy's name? Hold up.
it's Devin.
Yes, Devin to me is how I picture Christian as a kid. But I imagine Christian didn't have a little ass head like Devin does. I'm just saying. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm over here hating on these poor kids. But that was the whole time I'm sitting there like, Chucky, get him. Get him.
Oh my God, that's funny as hell, dude. That's
And can I talk
hilarious.
about one kill? How in the hell can you not avoid a damn mail cart?
Oh, when he pushed the lady out of the window?
Yeah, he runs a mail cart into her and she goes flying out of a window. You're telling me you can't sidestep a mail cart? Girl, you deserve to fly out the window.
And that was sad. That was some sad shit right there, man.
I do like that they have a little kid that plays Chucky in parts for like the running and all. I don't know the kid's name, but I did see that they had like a kid to have like where they're not CGI and all this stuff, like him running around.
Mm-hmm.
And those shots usually, I think they have like maybe a wig on them, but you don't really get a face. It's usually like legs or torso, back shot or something. I like that. I like that they're not over CGI and stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of pros in it. I don't know why I'm hating on the kids, but they bothered me, and I was rooting for Chucky, and so there's that. I'm a terrible person.
I think you just don't like kids.
I mean, I like kids, just not when.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is about his face, but when he's just standing there and they're talking to him, he looks like he's somewhere in outer space, not paying attention. Like the lights aren't on, and you're just like, his mouth is open. I'm like, God, he reminds me. He has that face like a Kristen Stewart would have.
Man,
just
that's some premium hate for this character.
Do what?
I said that's some premium hate for this character.
Also, God, some of the parents were stupid too. They didn't have really stupid faces. They just made me mad, and I was like, y'all deserve it. I don't know.
Well, I think the show did exactly what it set out to do: get you talking about it.
No,
you
I'm
hate
not
some
hating
characters.
on it. I don't know what it is. The face is just. I was just like, ugh. A punchable face. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
He's a child.
He's not a child.
Most children have
How old is he? Oh shit, he's 16.
Punchable looking faces. He's a child.
No, he's not. He's got to be older than 16.
Nah, dude, he was younger than that when he started filming. He had a birthday.
I wish I could find a picture to send you right now. Also, Andy's a grown ass man, and that throws me off. I just gotta say that. That confuses me.
You clearly aren't a big fan of the Child's Play series, the Chucky series, because something as simple as Andy's a grown ass man, and that confuses me.
I get that he's a grown ass man. It come out in what, the 80s? Child's Play. I just never was big into Chucky. That's not one of the series I gravitated towards.
Man,
I mean, I get that he's older and he has a beard. It throws me off. But I did recognize him right away. Like when he showed up, I was like, "Damn, that's Andy."
At least you got that part.
Yeah, I mean, I knew who it was. Dude, I want to take pictures of this kid's face right now and just send it to you. I don't know what it is.
Do it, man. That's hilarious. I think that's fucking hilarious.
I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry. And we get a whole season 2 of him.
I can't wait, dude. I am excited. I love the Child's Play series. I really enjoyed the Chucky series, season 1. I can't wait for season 2. I'm excited to see what they do with it. And we get Glenn and Glenda coming back, so I'm super excited about that as well.
Have they already explained that his soul fragments and goes into other dolls previously, or was that something just for this? Is there something I missed before?
No, that was... Yeah, you did. You clearly didn't watch Cult of Chucky.
I've watched it, but I probably didn't really pay attention to it.
There you go. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, soul fragment, that makes sense how the dolls can always kind of look different. Like, after one gets pretty much jacked up, then he can go to another one. Which makes him scarier than just being one doll that you can destroy and be done. Fair enough. And that's also how Nika gets possessed, is because she's, like, unstable, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So forth and blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll move on though. We'll come back to Chucky. We'll talk a lot about it in the coming weeks, I'm sure.
God. One last thing. It's not something I watched, but news that I just read a couple hours ago that I want to briefly touch on before we go to our first segment. Robert Eggers' Nosferatu has cast Bill Skarsgård and Lily Rose Depp, which means it is hopefully greenlit and actually going to happen. The remake, Nosferatu. What do you think?
I mean, he wouldn't have been my first choice, but I'm excited for it nonetheless, and I want to see what they do.
Thinking about him, he's really lanky, which goes into the build. Put a bald cap on him. Facial expressions, he's got some wild expressions, so it could be good.
I think that he would.
He's already
look
played a
great
vampire once before, anyway. So
he has in Hemlock Grove. I think that he's going to look great as Count Olaf. I think that he'll probably sound fine as well. I don't have any reservations for it for the most part. He just wouldn't be my personal first choice. I think he's going to do great though. He's in the zeitgeist right now. A lot of people like Bill Skarsgård. A lot of people really remember his performance as Pennywise in the recent It films. So I think that we should just ride the wave that is Bill Skarsgård for as long as we can. And they're going to keep putting him in movies because he is a box office draw in his own sense, in his own right. So I'm excited, man. I want to see what happens. I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, dude. I think that they do a good job with what they are given. Like I said, Bill wouldn't have been my first choice for Count Olaf. I would have chose somebody that's a little bit older than him, just because I think the maturity of that goes into it. And you don't need a lot of sequels with the Nosferatu movie, so I think going with an older actor would have been. No, you don't. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I would have chosen an older actor. That's exactly why I'm saying I would have chose an older actor, because you don't need a young guy in the role as Count Olaf, because you only need to make the one film with him in it. Therefore, you can get an older, more experienced, more distinguished actor that has a different look than Bill Skarsgård. Like I said, I don't mind that he's cast. I think that's totally fine. It's just, like I said, it wouldn't have been my first choice, but that doesn't mean anything bad. But yeah, man, that's good news. I'm excited. I love that. I love Nosferatu in general. I've seen the first two that came out, the original black and white silent film, and then I saw the remake that followed that, a few years later. So I really enjoyed both of those films.
Have you ever watched,
but I'm excited, man. I can't wait.
What's the one that's about making it? Shadow of the Vampire with Dafoe? Is that right?
I can't say that I've seen that because off the top of my head, I don't remember it.
I'm pretty sure William Dafoe's in it, and it's pretty much like the movie. It's pretty much talking about that movie, but it's like behind the scenes to making it. And I think William Dafoe is actually Nosferatu. Shadow of the Vampire. I think I'm calling it right. Shadow of the Vampire, 2000 film. Is this it? Yeah. William Dafoe is Max Schreck. John Malkovich is in it. There's a whole bunch of people.
You're saying William, but I think you mean Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, him. Exactly what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just make sure I heard you right. That's all.
I mean, we got canceled probably a little bit ago because of me and those damn kids.
I'm sure. You got canceled. You got canceled. I didn't say anything about this.
You agreed.
Look, no, I was just listening.
I can't help it if they have dumb faces. I can't.
All right. We're going to move on.
Okay, so we're moving on now that we have dwelled on that. Good news. But that takes us to our first actual, I guess, topic now that we've rambled on. But She-Hulk. Look, I'm going to say this, and this is pretty much a rinse repeat every damn week. A filler episode. I watched however 30 whatever minutes of that show, and not a damn thing mattered until the end. That's it. It's a good show. I do enjoy it, but nothing's happening. Literally nothing's happening. There's nothing of significance to me that matters until the very end. Like literally the end scene. That's it. But it's a good show. Hopefully that it picks up. Hopefully there's stuff that happens. I hope. We have a couple episodes left? 2 episodes? 3?
There's 2 episodes exactly.
Okay. What do you think about it? I mean, that's literally all I have. Like, it's a whole bunch of her going up there. She's dating a dude. And she goes up to Abomination's place and has like a group circle and talks with a bunch of people. And that's about it.
To keep it short and sweet, because I know we're running low on time, I think this She-Hulk is one of the most interesting, boring shows of all time. Like, this is definitely a show that I am interested to watch every week, but I will never watch the show again. I don't hate it. I don't think that it's terrible. I just think that it's one of those shows that's worth a watch. This
It's
show would
better
be
than Miss
so much more
Marvel
fun.
for me.
Yeah, Miss Marvel just wasn't good. But for me, I wasn't the target audience. Like if I were, I think if I were a teenager, between the ages of 14 and 18, I would like Miss Marvel. And if I were a young lady, I would definitely, if I identified as a young lady, I'd probably like it more. But it just wasn't for me, I like superheroes that punch people in the face and throw people and fucking, do things. Anyway, with that being said, I think that the Daredevil episode that's upcoming for She-Hulk is going to be great. I think the season finale
Unless they
will
don't
open
have
this
one.
up for something else.
What if they don't have one?
Right. If they have to, because if not, then people will riot and swear off Disney Plus, and Marvel doesn't need that. But the thing is, with this show, I think it would be great if you could just binge it. So if you're one of those people who has been fortunate enough not to watch it, and you could just watch it when it's done and just binge it in a day, because each episode is like a cool 30 minutes. So you'd spend like half a day going through not even half a day, going through this fucking show. I think it'd be way more fun for you to watch at that point. But watching it weekly just isn't really fun to do. Like I said, the show is fine. I don't dislike it at all. I think the acting is exactly where it needs to be. I think the show is just the right amount of meta. I think that they break the fourth wall at the right times, mostly. I think the subject matter is pretty good. It's just not the show that I was expecting it to be. And with that being said, like I said, I think it's like the most exciting, interesting show that's also boring to watch. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those. But like I said, man, once I'm done with She-Hulk, once the season finale airs and we're done with it, I will never be watching She-Hulk season 1 again. Sans like, the YouTube clip of her twerking and then whatever Daredevil does. That's all I'll watch again.
Fair.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
To show how much we have talked about She-Hulk, you didn't tell me your top 3 on Dahmer, Gacy, Bundy. How you would rank them? Not top 3, but how you would rank those as far as like scary, interest level, all that.
I want to say Gacy first, just because
Gacy's your number 1, or your number
here's
3.
the thing, man. After now that I'm a dad, like it's hard because what do you do? You got this fucking guy around your kids and he's been murdering motherfuckers.
He
like
didn't really take little
like it's
kids,
nothing.
though, did he? He took like
no, but I'm just saying, like, how do those parents feel? He was around their children. Think about the children's sin.
Yeah.
But no, seriously though, in all honesty, like I think between the three, Dahmer, Gacy, and Bundy, I want to say Dahmer because he had different victims. What he was doing to these victims was a little different. So he's just the most interesting to me. And then after that, probably Gacy, because Gacy is so integrated in pop culture now. For you not even knowing it, like most people are afraid of clowns, right? He was a clown. He did all this stuff. He was nice. Everybody liked him. He was a big, bumbling looking guy. He just looked like your fat uncle that comes over every holiday with a Tupperware system to go home after. That's what he reminds me of. So unassuming in that sense that's why he's so freaky and scary to me. And then after that, I would go Bundy, mainly because the thing is with Bundy had a type. I'm not Bundy's type, so it's not as scary to me. But for every, for the women out there that he was after, the type that he was after, like I can't imagine how scary that was. Also, he talked to you. He wasn't weird. That's what I'm trying to get at. He was so perfectly integrated in society.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, I would see, like, if Bundy, let's say Bundy was out today, like we didn't know who he was, I wouldn't think to myself, I need to be afraid of this guy. I need to really watch what's going on with this guy because he was that slick. He was that crafty. But with, like, Dahmer, dude, like, he's a weird motherfucker. Like, I would have to be watching this kid, like, or this man. I would have to be watching him for sure. And then when it comes to Gacy, like, like I said, man, once you're a dad and you got birthday parties and shit happening in your backyard, and this guy shows up and like
First off, I'm
you
not
want to
hiring no
feel
weird ass clown in the first place.
you would if it were that time, like if you lived in that time, you
I
would.
will
That's what I'm
dress up
saying.
as a
Like,
clown myself. I don't want no weird clown. So true story. Whenever we got our house and stuff, I remember I was sick. I was under the weather, and DirecTV people showed up. Right, they were like moving our DirecTV from our old place to like our new house, and
mhm.
the dude that showed up, dead ass, looked like Gacy. And I remember texting my wife and was like, "Well, I'm
Nope.
screwed. I
Mm-mm.
swear to God, John Wayne
Absolutely
Gacy's
not.
in our damn house right now."
Nope. Now I would have been like, hey man, you're gonna have to
Dude
come back
was a
tomorrow,
dead
bro.
ass ringer, mustache, appearance, everything. I was just like, And I remember at
Mm-mm.
the end, like he
Nope.
finished, he was like, "You care if I sit in your driveway and make a call?" And I was like, "Sure." I was like, "Oh shit, I'm dead,
Yeah, he's sizing you up, bro.
bro." I was not having it. One other thing I wanted to touch on that. I know I'm sidetracked. You ever wonder and like kind of Dexter it, like because you get in the show Dexter, he can sense other predators, right? Like other killers. He feels them. He can sense them. He can see what they're doing. Do you think if Bundy, Dahmer, or Gacy was around each other, or any of the others, that they would sense it and they would be like, "Oh, you're like me. You know, you have that darkness or whatever." Do you think they could sense it, and how? I wonder how that would play out.
Realistically, I'm gonna say no on that, just because the thing is, like, this is the example I'll use. And let's say that you met me for the first time, and I didn't all none of my tattoos were visible, and I was just wearing like plain colored clothes, no logos, no designs. You wouldn't know that I was a horror fan. You wouldn't know that I was a comic book fan. If I talked to you and I didn't mention that stuff, you wouldn't know. Like, you wouldn't be able to just look at me and be like, he's a fucking nerd. He's a big fucking goofy ass nerd, and he likes horror films, and he likes comic books. There's no way you'd be able to know that. So just because I'm a nerd, I can't look at somebody and be like, yeah, they're like me. That's my kin right there. I know them.
I just feel like they would
Or
get a vibe, especially if like they talked, like they're in the same room, and like Bundy and Dahmer bump
now
into each other. I feel like they would get that
you bump
vibe. Like,
into each other. I think if they were to bump into each other and have like a conversation, like an
yeah, that's what
actual
I'm saying. Like they
conversation.
talk. It's not like you're locking them in a room with a bunch of people and they're not. You know, they make eye contact. Maybe they like exchange some words. I feel like they're gonna get the vibe, but I wonder like how they
I don't
would
know, man.
respond.
I still don't feel that. Like, unless they said some key phrases, some key words that would give them the idea that this other person is kind of like them, I don't think that you would just pick up on that. Now, if one of them happened to slip the fuck up and say some weird shit, then sure. But just having a normal conversation about fucking coffee beans and shit, like, no, there's no way.
Yeah, until Dahmer's like, I like my coffee beans with a side of heart and liver.
Yeah, somebody says something weird like that, sure, everybody's onto the shit, and they'll probably be best fucking friends until they kill each other at some point.
I feel like it's a predator and they sense it somehow. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, that was completely off topic.
That's a nice
We'll
thought.
get off of that. Spooky season takes over, and I go down the spooky hole, and that kind of ties in with that.
Spooky hole. Is that what we're calling it?
A spooky hole? Yeah. You ever been to a spooky
That's
hole? Speaking of spooky holes, have you watched Glorious?
Jesus Christ.
That's not a spooky hole. Well, I guess it is a spooky hole, but it's also a glory hole.
What the hell?
Have you not watched it?
What are we talking about right now?
It's a movie on Shudder. It's called Glorious. It has Jason
Ryan
from True Blood.
Canton?
I can't think of his name. Ryan something.
Ryan Canton. Yeah, I've seen that.
And it has Omni-Man's voice and the hell's his name? He's been in Spider-Man.
J. Jonah Jameson? You're thinking
Yeah,
of,
but what's his name? What's the actor's name?
Fuck, he's the Farmers commercials.
Yes, that guy.
I know it. I know
He's
his
the voice
name.
of the entity.
Damn. Yeah.
I don't know. We said spooky hole. My mom went there. Okay, I need to stop.
Jesus, I can't believe that's where you went with
What?
that. Like,
have you not watched
God.
it? Watch it and tell me your mind doesn't go.
I have watched it. That's not what I thought when you said spooky hole, though.
Look,
At
I'll say
all.
this: Ryan, however you said his name, I forgot it already.
Canton.
And Evan Peters. If it's such a thing as Scream Kings, I put them up there. I like them in those movies.
There are Scream King. J.K. Simmons, that's his name.
There you go. Thank you. Yes, it's him. Dude, it's a weird ass movie. I will say that is a trippy ass movie. But yeah, my mom went there. Okay, on to our next topic, which is not involving scary holes, spooky holes, glory holes, whatever kind of holes we're talking about. Well, I guess they could involve some holes, but not ones we're going to discuss. But House of the Dragon, worst segue ever. That's but right. We're here. We made it.
That's right.
That's right. We're in Westeros.
So I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna let you guys know, the listeners know. I'm gonna kind of speed through this just because we are running low on time, recording. So I'm gonna kind of run through these things. The episode starts and the intro is a little different. There's blood splitting, revealing new bloodlines, new characters being born, or marriages. So we get that right off the bat. We know that when the episode starts, Rhaenyra is who we are focused on. She is clearly older. Most of the characters in this are played by different actors and actresses.
It's progressed 10 years from the previous episode.
Yeah, it's a 10-year time jump. Paddy Constantine's the same, and Sir Criston Cole's the same. Sir Prissy Bitch is what I've been calling him now because of how he's been acting. He's just so annoying right now. Like I said, anyway. I'm going to keep moving it on. So Rhaenyra Targaryen's given birth to her third child, who is named Joffrey by her husband later. Lenore, not later, his name's Lenore, excuse me. But Lenore names him Joffrey after his deceased lover because, he's reminiscing and whatnot. Rhaenyra's not necessarily happy about this, but it's too late. And there we go. The queen wants to see the baby right after it's born. But I wanted to bring up like the shot that we see after Lenore walks in. You see her getting ready. There's two shots of this. So there's a 3-minute continuous shot of after she's given birth and she's trying to kind of stand up and get dressed and all that for the queen. I thought that was really fucking cool. So I wanted to know if you caught that was a continuous shot. Did you know that?
Yeah, it was super cool.
I thought that shit was sick. That shit was super sick. I really enjoyed it. Anyway,
can I make a statement about Rhaenyra and her husband?
Yeah, go ahead.
They have the best relationship, probably the healthiest. Well, maybe not best, healthiest relationship in the entire show.
Because it's fake, or
because there's no bullshit. They call each other on their shit. They're honest. They know, obviously, like they're upfront. They know what each other's doing, and they'll call each other quick. Like there's a line he says something about get out before like the storm or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember the exact phrase, but like if there's a storm coming, you leave or you sail away or something like that. He makes mention of that earlier in the episode, and later she calls it back to him, and he's just like, "Fair enough. Like you just called me on it." Like I feel like they have the best working relationship of anybody.
That's true.
So we get that. I had to throw that out there.
No, you're good. You're good. We get that shot, continuous shot until Lenore arrives.
Also,
and then there's another one.
Screw that her getting up and going up the stairs. And going.
Yeah, man, she leaves a trail of blood after that. Dude, anyway, we'll get to it.
If you've ever been at like experience with like anybody having childbirth, what the hell? I felt for her.
Absolutely. We learn that the only reason why she wants to see the baby as soon as it's born is because she's thinking that Rhaenyra is just going to give the baby to somebody else to take to her so she can rest. That's not what happens, but she wants to see what the baby looks like to confirm to herself that the child doesn't belong to Lenore. And she even comments to Lenore about that. If you keep trying, maybe one day one of them will look like you. She says something to that effect anyway. Real bitchy, real fucking cunty, to be honest, what she's saying. But that's what happens. Anyway, with that being said, she checks to see. We see that the first son, I think his name is Jacaerys, or Jace, as he's called in this episode. Then you have her second son. And when I say her, I mean Rhaenyra's sons. First son is Jacaerys, goes by Jace. Second son is Lucaerys, and he goes by Luke. Very clever names, I guess. But we get another 3-minute unbroken shot of Rhaenyra and Lenore walking to meet the queen, and that's cool. We see them, saying hi to people, and we get the people let them know that they're on their side no matter what. And then you get other people who are just kind of there, and we get their banter. of course. And then after the meeting, you see that Rhaenyra has literally left a trail of blood from where she hasn't been able to heal at all. She stands up before they even cut the umbilical cord for her kid, which is fucking insane. That just goes to show us how strong she still is. She hasn't lost her touch, her edge. She's still sharp. Anyway, we also see that I noticed the king is missing his whole ass arm. I don't know if you noticed that. His fucking arm is gone, bro. Like, Viserys' life sucks. His leprosy has definitely cost him a lot of appendages at this point, so he's just looking like a fucking walking skeleton at this point. He looks like the Crypt Keeper. That's what he looks like. He looks like the fucking Crypt Keeper. It's really bad. I feel bad for him. Shit is in the cards for him. He's not long to live in this world, we can see. He won't accept what he sees, by the way. He's completely blinded by his love for his daughter. He doesn't care that her kids clearly don't belong to Lenore. They don't even look mixed whatsoever. They're just straight up white kids. Which, I mean, usually that joke is the other way around, but I thought that was a funny, clever thing to do. I don't know if they thought about that shit beforehand or not, but I thought that was really clever, really funny to do. I don't know if that's something that you picked up on either, but if you did pick up on it, congratulations. What else did we see? We saw Sir Hardwin Strong, very eager to meet the baby because obviously it is his baby. He be the daddy. In the book, it's a little different. Like, it's not nearly as it is in the show, but I like that they're just letting us know right now. There's no qualms about this shit. We know who the daddy is. They know who the daddy is. We're just not saying it because, you say that shit's the wrong person and you can get killed. So I get it. Totally get it. We finally get to see inside of the dragon pit because Jace is bonding. He's having a bonding session with his dragon, Vermax. And I thought that was pretty cool. That whole scene was nice. Jace needs to fully bond with the dragon so that it'll only listen to his commands. We see that that's not quite happening yet, but they're getting there. And then all the boys kind of tease Aemon, which is the second son of Alicent. They're teasing Aemon because he doesn't have a dragon, so they bring out this pig they call the Pink Dread and give it wings and kind of dress it up like it's fierce to make fun of him, and they're all kind of dicks, but nobody hates anybody. I do like that is another change from the books. All of these kids, they're just fucking kids. Kids are dicks, so they're just assholes to each other, and I really like that we get to see that in the show. It's kind of like the calm before the storm, because obviously this isn't going to last very long. It is Game of Thrones after all. Then we see that Aemon wants a dragon. He goes deep into the pit, and he almost gets his fucking ass roasted by another dragon. And we finally get to see Helena, who has grown a bit. It's been 10 years, so she's about 10 years old now. She could be 11, but anyway, she's in the realm of 10 to 11 years old. She seems like, for us viewers now in 2022, she seems like she might be on the spectrum a bit. So that's kind of fun to see characters for that time. The king tells Alicent to stop with the rumors. That's further letting us know that he is blind to what's going on. Alicent, however, is blind as well to see that her oldest son is a dick. We caught this motherfucker just beating off in the window, and she didn't even say anything about it. Like, just hanging out the window, just jacking it for the world.
About
no, I didn't. I wish I did. Tell me.
Not Joffrey. What's the other brother?
Jace.
Tomlin.
There's
Tomlin.
Tomlin.
You know, the one that takes over after Joffrey. That's like kind-hearted.
Oh, Tommen.
Yes, Tommen. They said the real reason Tommen fell out of the window and it had him up and beat him.
That's fucking. Oh my god, that's fucked up. That's so funny though. Oh shit. Anyway, that's really funny. I need to look that up after we record. Anyway. Moving on. Like I said, guys, I'm going through this as quickly as I can because we are running out of time. But I wanted to touch on all the major parts of the episode. So I'm going to keep going. Like I said, Alicent is blind to see that her oldest son is a dick. He's really rude, man. He's one of those entitled rich dudes, as you can see. Then I think we're in Pentos at this point. And Daemon and Lena are offered a home in the Triarchy. Daemon has has two daughters at this point, and Lena is pregnant with their third child, who I believe is going to be a daughter as well. I'm not sure if they said that in the episode. I can't remember. But Damon clearly favors one of his two daughters. He even teaches her High Valerian. And I realized watching a special for Game of Thrones that it's not pronounced Valerian, it's technically pronounced Valarian. So the actors in the show actually get a little pissed when they hear people just saying Valerian because it's supposed to be Valarian. Anyway, I just thought that was funny because it reminded me of Harry Potter with Leviosa. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going.
Did you
So
catch
they're in
the
Pintos. They get
name, the Easter egg from was it Tarly?
possibly.
Somebody
Is
was
it?
like
Oh yeah,
named
that
Hermit
they're.
or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I caught that actually.
So there was a house
Can't.
name, and one of them was named like Hermit or something, or Grover or something like that. Maybe it was Grover, but they
No, I
said
totally
if you
missed it.
do what if you go down the list like of their bloodline, that it's like Sesame Street characters is literally the name of the damn bloodline.
No, I didn't know that. That's fucking
Was it
hilarious,
It was
though.
somebody like that. It was one of those houses. I can't remember exactly which one.
All right.
Nice little Easter egg.
Um. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna watch that shit again and try to find it. Damon doesn't really pay attention to his daughter that has an unhatched dragon egg because he's Damon and he's a piece of shit. I guess. But also, I think honestly, they don't say it, but I think that he doesn't believe that she's worthy of his time because she doesn't have a dragon. So that means that she's not, a true Targaryen, which is they don't say that in the episode, but that's what I got from it, just because of the kind of character that Damon is. He's obsessed with old dragon riders. You see that he's researching old dragon riders and their journeys in those books after he's done teaching his one of his daughters High Valarian. So I thought that was really cool. So you notice those little things about his character. Damon also wants to accept the offer, but Lena doesn't. She wants to live a dragon rider's death, which is foreshadowing as shit because we're going to see that later. But she very much so wants to be free and doesn't want to deal with what's going on there. She kind of wants to get back to kind of the things that are supposed to be doing. But Damon wants to just kind of live free and be his own thing, and he doesn't want to deal with a lot of the politics they have to deal with. But we'll see how that comes about in future episodes. In the courtyard, the boys are trained by Sir Kristen, and we see that Harwin Harwin is the commander of the City Watch, and he says that he's spending too much time with Alicent's kids because you notice that he's training Alicent's kids to fight and to do all those things, but doesn't really do any of that for Rhaenyra's kids. He's kind of a dick to them, and we know why, but they don't. So we see that happening. He gets called out on that, and I thought that that was really good of Harwin to bring that up. So the boys spar, and Sir Kristen is obviously very unfair with the sparring match. And then he makes a joke about Harwin being their actual father, Rhaenyra's actual kid's father, and Harwin beats his ass. He fucking beats the shit out of him. He doesn't kill him, but he does beat the shit out of him, which is very bad. And you notice that Sir Kristen Cole doesn't fight back because Sir Prissy Bitch knows that if he fights back, then it's a fight, a full-on fight, and it's not just him raging because not Sir Harwin, but Harwin Strong is just fighting him because he's upset about what he's saying about his kids. So the fact that he didn't fight back was a very calculated move. It's really shitty, and Sir Prissy Bitch knew what he was doing, and he wanted that reaction out of Harwin Strong, and he got it. So, he's got a couple of bruises, but he's not dead. He's cool. Anyway, moving on. Rhaenyra listens to the conversation between Harwin and Lionel, father and son, because she's gone back to kind of listen to what's happened to Harwin Strong afterwards. Because, I mean, that's her dude, right? That's her sneaky link, I guess, if you want to say that. So she's trying to figure out what's going on because one of the handmaidens tells her that he's in trouble and she needs to go figure out why. She's going to meet him. And when we see her going through that secret passage to meet Harwin, that's probably how she's been getting to him all these years, having sex and hanging out and getting to know each other and having all these fucking kids and shit. That's probably how that's been happening the past 10 years. So we got that. What else? Also, they don't say this in the episode, but I'm assuming that she was pregnant after the moon tea incident and just had a baby after that, because her and Lenore got married like right after that shit happened, and her kids are almost 10 years old. So that would track. But anyway, I don't know that for sure. I could be wrong. Actually, no, I am wrong. I apologize. Forget everything I just said over the last 20 seconds. It didn't make any sense. My bad. Moving further, the wise spider. I'm sorry, the wise spider. That didn't make any sense. Anyway, going back, Lenore comes home drunk with a new guy, and he's craving battle, and he's craving, the sea again. He wants to have an adventure again. So he's talking to Rhaenyra about going away for a while to kind of join the war efforts and whatnot. And she tells him straight up, no, you can't leave. You got to stay here with us. You got to be with your family right now. This is when we need you the most. The walls are caving in on us and we definitely need you. He gets pissed off about it. They have an argument, but she pretty much commands him to stay, and he has to obey. So he stays, and he's really pissed off about it. And that's one of the reasons why he likes to go and get drunk with this new guy all the time. And they're clearly banging, like very clearly banging. They don't show it in this episode, but I mean, we know what's up. And he says something to her, which is the wise sailor flees the storm as it gathers. And then Rhaenyra plays the Game of Thrones, in front of everybody at the small council. She asked that her oldest son, Jace, be married to Alicent's daughter, Helena, to unite the houses and to amend all of the bad blood between them in general. She also offers that Aemon has his choice of dragon eggs if they get more eggs, which is a great thing. And the king, Viserys, really wants this to happen, but Alicent pretty much tells him when they're alone that he can do whatever he wants once she's fucking dead, which means over my cold dead body. No, we're not doing that. We're not uniting any houses. Fuck that bitch is essentially what she says. And I thought that, that's exactly what she was going to say, because why wouldn't she? We know that Alicent has grown pretty bitchy in her older age, I should say. This is when I think she's talking to her oldest son again, after Lionel shows up to the king and straight up offers to quit because of the shadow looming over his house, which the king declines because Lionel can't say what the rumors are and what the dark shadow is that's over the house. We as the watchers and everybody else in the kingdom knows that it's because his daughter Rhaenyra has clearly been fucking Lionel's son, and he can't be the hand of the king and be objective to things if he knows that that's the case. But because he can't actually say those words, the king declines his offer. So Lionel asked if he can just go take Harwin back to Harrenhal, which the king does accept. Then we see Larys later, the little fucking sly fucker that walks on the cane that I've been calling Middle Finger. He's still having meetings scumball with Alicent. Dude, he's a piece of fucking garbage, dude. Oh my god. Now calling him Middle Finger makes even more sense for me.
Wait, we were calling dude Middle Finger though. Otto.
Which dude? Oh shit, we were calling Otto Middle Finger. What are we gonna call Larys? Larys is just fucking.
I don't know. He's kind of taking over for Otto. We'll see. Otto's coming back, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much shit.
That damn bug. At first, I thought it was a scorpion, but I don't think it's a scorpion.
Which bug?
There's a bug on his cane. And
I'm gonna get to that.
Do what?
I'm going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry. I got you covered, dog. I watched the episode.
I'm gonna call him Beetlebug.
Beetlebug, like Beetleborgs, like the Beetleborgs
like
from when we were kids.
Little old Beetlebug.
All right.
Get old Beetlebug.
Little Beetlebug.
Get old Beetlebug.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Go down and get a drink with Beetlebug.
So Larys is pretty much, getting information from Alicent. She's getting information from him. They're like fucking besties right now because they're using each other. Larys then he gets some death row inmates and then cuts out their tongues and tells them to, man, this shit is crazy. We don't see this on screen, but he essentially gets these death row inmates and turns them into his own personal assassins.
Cutting out their tongues by way of doing this, so they don't snitch, though.
Yeah, he cuts their tongues out so they can't snitch, which we don't hear him say, but because we are watching the show, we know that's what's going on.
That's pretty clever.
He cuts out their
That's pretty
tongues.
damn
He
devious.
brands them. It is really smart for him. He cuts out their tongues and brands them, and then gives them the tools that they need to carry out
He
whatever
brands them with a beetle
assassinations that
bug.
he needs to be carried out. Yeah, well, I don't know if he brands them with that mark, but he definitely does brand them. That's for sure. But
Beetle
anyway,
bug brand.
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. He pretty much tells them, which we don't hear at the time, but he does tell them to burn down Harrenhal with Lionel Strong and Harwin Strong still in there, which are his father and brother. And if they do this, then they'll have their freedom. That's what he's telling them. And then we see the cane and we see the insect on it. It is a beetle on his cane. So I thought that was cool. I don't really know the significance of why it's a beetle right now. And also the pen that he gives the assassins with the like beetle mark on them, that's not in the book. That is specifically for the show. Lena attempts to give birth, but she can't. And Damon has to choose between the baby or his wife. The same decision that Viserys was asked to make in the first episode. So that happens again. Damon can't answer the question. He's trying to figure it out. He obviously cares a little bit about Lena. He doesn't care about her. She is a dragon rider. She's from a highborn family. So he does like her, and he doesn't really want to kill her. So he doesn't say anything. And while he's trying to decide, she kind of somehow musters up the fucking strength while she has this baby trying to come out of her. And she walks to her dragon, who I can't remember the name of this dragon right now. I apologize. Her dragon, however, is the biggest dragon
What from
in
like
the
Balerion
show
or
right
something?
now.
It's like it's a super old dragon.
Yeah, her dragons had several different riders because they've all died at this point. She has the biggest, oldest dragon in history currently, and that's significant. We'll see that later. We'll also, I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. Like, we already know that Aemon, which is the second son of Alicent, he doesn't have a dragon. He hasn't bonded to a dragon. Lena's getting ready to pass. She has a dragon who doesn't have a rider. What do you think is going to happen with that? Because I'm going to tell you right now, your first guess is probably the right one. Anyway, with that being said,
Damon is going to ride it. Is that
wrong?
Right?
So with that,
I think
that being
Beetlebug
said,
is to ride it.
Oh my god. Anyway, somehow Lena walks out to her dragon and commands her dragon to burn her so she could die a dragon rider's death. The dragon doesn't want to do it, but if she finally does. Her dragon is a female, by the way, in case you didn't know. Her dragon finally does do it. Jakara, she burns her to death. Damon watches this happen, and he's obviously shaken from this shit. Like, this is some crazy shit he just witnessed. So that happens.
It's significant. He gets proposed the same situation that the show started in with Viserys and having to essentially like C-section before they knew how to do C-section stuff and get the baby out because it won't come naturally.
That's true.
So he's proposed the same thing his brother had. He's making the same decision.
That's true. So that happens, and then Harren promises the boys that he'll return. Jace knows the truth. He knows that Harwin is his dad. He even asks Rhaenyra about it, and she doesn't answer the question. She kind of dances around it. She says some shit like to the effect of, you're a Targaryen, and that's all that matters, I believe is what she says. So we have that. He, like I said, he knows the truth, but he'll just keep it to himself because he knows what it means for that to happen. Lenore spars with Carl, which is his new boyfriend.
What's his name?
And Rhaenyra tells him Carl.
Carl,
yeah. Spelled with a Q, though. Q. I think it's Quuarl, but it's pronounced Carl. That's how we're gonna do it. It's Coral, but I'm gonna say Carl because I'm pretty sure that's what they said in the. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll call him Coral. That works too. So Rhaenyra tells him that they need to leave.
Rick Grimes. Coral.
Yeah. Tells them that they need to leave, and he's telling her, she says the same line he said earlier. The wise sailor avoids the storm as it gathers, or whatever, and he takes that to heart. But she also tells him that he can bring his new boyfriend, and he's happy. His boyfriend's happy. They're happy. So they're all going to leave and get the fuck out of Dodge since they won't be protected anymore by Harren Strong. And then Lars tells Alicent that he killed his father and his brother. per her wish, and she, says, "Oh, I didn't tell you to do that. Oh my god!" And he was like, "Why wouldn't I do anything that my queen commands? Why wouldn't anyone do what their queen commands? That's crazy." And he also lets her know that he did because when the time comes, she will reward him, which is a total fucking power move. And with that being said, the episode ends. There are some things that I wanted to go over really quick, some differences between the book and the show, while I still have those fresh in my mind before we have to end the episode. But in the book, Lena wants to ride her dragon one last time before her death. So she tries to go out to her dragon to ride, but she collapses before reaching the dragon and dies 3 days later. So it's even sadder in the book how she dies. And she does give birth to a baby, but it's a weird kind of malformed baby that has like dragon scales on it, akin to how they said that the baby was born for what's her name, Daenerys in the original Game of Thrones story. It's a well known thing in the books. In the books, Targaryens have these kind of malformed babies a lot. It's pretty common where they kind of look like dragons a little bit. They have like dragon scales, and they look really fucking weird, and they usually don't live past like 24 hours. So that happens a lot, and unfortunately, it happened to Lena. In the book, Lenore doesn't live with Rhaenyra. He only visits her during important occasions and when he needs to be on the small council. So if you didn't know that, that is a difference from the book. Daemon doesn't stay in Pentos with Lena Valerian. That is also different from the books. I don't remember off the top of my head where he's living, but he's definitely not living in Pentos with her in the books. The king doesn't lose his left arm in the books. That is specifically for the show to show us even more so that he's dying slowly, and he probably can't feel a lot of shit anymore, to be real with you, because he's so sick with leprosy at that point. Harwin Strong was known to be the strongest fighter ever. And then he had a broken elbow and broken collarbone and was still known to be a fucking threat. And that's why they call him, that's why they call the kids the strong boys, because they're also pretty strong. And Harwin was a mother. Like fighting him was either a death wish or you wouldn't make it out walking straight. That's pretty much what happened. So that's probably another reason why Sir Kristen didn't try to fight him back in the show, but they don't really say that. But I just wanted you guys to be aware that is something that is in the books.
Christian,
he's definitely strong as shit. Yeah, what's up?
did you know I was an adventurer
Oh my god!
until
No,
I
I
took
didn't
an
know
arrow
that.
to the knee?
Oh my god! Not with the fucking Skyrim joke. I haven't heard
When
that
you
shit in a
said-
minute.
How you said that, that's what it made me think of. And I was like, I can't resist.
That was good, man. I'll give you that. Also in the books, Rhaenyra and Lena were friends. They were the friendship that Rhaenyra had with Alicent is practically the friendship that she had with Lena in the books, and they changed that to make the war even more horrible. So there was something there. So when she died from the childbirth and all that shit, that hurt Rhaenyra deeply, which we probably won't see in the show because they've changed some stuff. Also in the book, Alicent should have 4 kids. For some reason, she's missing a whole ass son, and I don't know why they did that for the show, because she totally has 4 kids in the show, and Rhaenyra has 3. So they just evened it out, 3 and 3. I don't really know why that's the case, but that's what we're dealing with right now. And one of her kids has I forget her kid's name, the one that we don't see in the show, but he has a dragon. He has a dragon named Blue Queen. And the Blue Queen dragon is really beautiful, blue scales. She looks great. Her eyes are a different color, and her fire is also a different color. So I just wanted you guys to know that was a difference. And I already told you guys the difference with Lena and how she died. She gave birth to the lizard-like baby, and it died 3 days later, and then she died, as well. So those were the differences between the book and the show right now. Those are all the differences that I could remember anyway. If there are more, please let us know in any of the comment sections for any of our various social medias, and I'll give it back to you, Sid.
All right. Thank you for that detailed breakdown. As always, you do a great job with that, sir, and it is much appreciated. I'm sure the listeners agree as well.
Thank you.
And that's pretty much it. We're gonna move on to the final segment, but before that, we have a small but big piece of news I want to drop for you guys. Yeah, so something that's been talked about for a while. It's been in the works for a while. It will be released the day after the time of recording this, so October 1st. October 1st, spooky season, and we officially have some damn merch. It happened. Merch store is live. Go get your merch. Go get your Sippin With Sin merch. We have various designs up. It is all correlated and tied together with my merch for my stream and stuff like that. So you can go get my designs. You can go get Sippin With Sin designs, all that stuff. Go check it out. There's even purple shirts in honor of the one and only Christian. There's hoodies, there's hats, there's t-shirts, there's V-necks, there's long sleeves, tank tops. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Go check it out. Go show it some love. It's bonfire.com/store/IamSinister. You'll see Sippin With Sin merch. You'll see IamSinister merch. All kinds of stuff. Check it out. Show it some love. Big announcement. Can't wait to see you guys. Would love if you get some. If you order some, let us know. Post a picture with it. Send us. Show us what you got. That'd be super, super awesome.
We'll shout you out, man. We'll shout you out for.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll share you on socials and do all that stuff. But check it out.
Yeah, send an image.
Want to see it. But that brings us to the one, the only.
Pass the whiskey.
Last call. Oh, it's last call time. So get your drinks, get your
Whiskey!
and let's wrap this episode up. So I'm gonna do the last call question this week because I want to do something different, and I'm gonna do the last call question. Christian's been asking me questions, so we're gonna switch it up, and I'm gonna ask Christian a question. And my question this week is, Christian, in your heart of hearts, in your mind of minds, do you think the movie Jaws is a horror movie? That's the question.
Absolutely, 100%. Jaws is 100%.
There's debate about it. So I want to ask you,
anybody debating
yes,
it.
it's a horror movie. Plain and simple, done. Jaws is a horror movie. I would classify it there all day. I'll die on that hill. Sir, what do you think?
I think that it's 100% a horror movie. I think that it's also a creature feature. Jaws is the creature in the horror film. That's why that's not the real reason, but that became the reason why we only see the shark a few times in the film. And it's 100% a horror movie. Think of Jaws as a slasher killer, and he is systematically taking out all the characters. And our final boy is Rob Schneider's character. Not Rob Schneider, Jesus Christ. God, I can't think of his name right now. I can only think of Quint right now, which is crazy. But he's taking out all of the characters until you get to the final boy character, and the slasher, who is the shark in this film, is finally taken out. So 100% it's a horror film. But on the same coin of that question, I have a question for you, because this is also heavily debated, and this is a debate that I will die on one side of the hill, and I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Because I believe, and you also believe, that Jaws is a horror film, do you in turn believe that the very first Terminator film is also a horror film?
So, in briefly thinking about it, it fits the criteria for a sci-fi. Yeah, I mean, you have a final girl. You have the creature, slasher, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I would say so. I would say sci-fi horror.
Okay.
I
definitely think it's a horror.
The criteria enough because it's different than 2. 2 is more.
2 is 100% an action film.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's more over the top, where 1 is more gritty, darker. Yeah, I would say so. I would put it in there.
Okay, good.
I think I disappointed you. I feel like you wanted me to say no so you could argue.
No, I like this better because I feel like that's the right answer. So
Okay.
I'm in it.
Because I know you like to argue me. So, I mean, I would say so, though, because, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
But would it be a sci-fi creature feature, or would it be a sci-fi slasher? You have a final girl and Sarah Connor, right?
Yeah, I think you could call the Terminator. You could call the Terminator a creature, or you could call him a slasher. I think either one fits the criteria.
Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to figure out which one you would label, but yeah, okay, yeah, nice. So I come
All
up with a
right.
question, you turn it around. How the hell does that work?
That's how I do, man. That's how I do.
All right, this guy. All right, but that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, you are a real one. We appreciate it. Spooky season time, boys and girls. So we got lots of fun stuff. We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue to implement horror talk and horror subjects into our cast every week. So definitely, we love suggestions. If there's a movie you want us to watch, anything like that, let us know. If you would like to get your question featured in Last Call, join the Gilded server, gilded.gg/sinisterpack. In the application, just put from the podcast. We'll get you accepted. There's a whole freaking section for it. Sippin' With Sin, you have things such as the socials where you can stay connected to us, episode chat, topics, suggestion, drinks where you can post where you've been drinking, what you've been sipping on. Last Call questions posted there so you get it featured on the episode, as well as Sinister Tales. There's personal horror stories. If something's happened to you that's very spooky or you have a personal story, share it. We'd love to go over it and talk about it on the cast. Or if there's something on the internet, you can share that as well to be on Sinister Tale. Also, follow Sippin' With Sin on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Sippin' With Sin, SIPPIN with Sin. Drop some love. You can also reach out through DM on those and share your last call question. Just put last call question and then put it there to be featured on an episode. We'd love to hear from you guys. Love to hear feedback about House of Dragon, about Chucky, about any of the stuff we talked about today. Share some feedback with us. What you thought about Dahmer? Or do you think Jaws is a horror movie? Do you think Terminator is a horror movie? Let us know. Hit us up on the socials and tell us. You can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, IamSinister TV. You can find me live streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/IamSinister TV. TikTok, IamSinister TV, and Facebook, fb.gg/IamSinister TV. Go show some love over there. Say hello. Don't forget, new Sippin' With Sin and IamSinister merch out at bonfire.com/store/IamSinister. Go show it some love and send us pictures. We will definitely share them, and we would love to see you guys rocking our merchandise. Christian, where can the lovely folks find you?
All right, guys, you guys can find me at Venin Inc. That is VENANDINK on all the socials. And I also have a side project coming up soon that I'll announce on the next episode of the podcast that we can all, talk about and hopefully enjoy on our own time. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for you. Like I said, we've running out of time. I got some stuff I got to get going on because, life happens. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in to yet another episode of Sipping With Sin. Be sure to leave a 5-star review, smash that like button, and leave your recommendations in the comment section below. But most importantly, you guys know it by now. Say it with me. Don't get gutted.
Appreciate you all. New episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central. Also on YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister. Go check out the video episode and stream it on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and more. Show some love. See you guys next week. Bye.